Welcome. Chapter 4, Approaches to Physical Security. As we've been looking at, security is about understanding how do we protect our data. And is it worth protecting, not just our data, but our whole philosophy towards our building? Physical security is what we're looking at. So let's take a look. Let's see, concepts, designing and developing, better methods to create physical security. And you know the secret is? It's about planning. When we can plan for everything, it is better. And that's what our goal is that we can plan for what's going on. Objectives, discuss the levels of physical security, physical barriers, and a plan. Our key concepts as we look at them. So, the most important thing, no system's 100% defeat proof. Something we can design it to make it difficult, but if someone really wants it, they're going to get it. And that's the problem that we have. But we have to weigh out what is the cost of protecting our data or facility versus what's in it. So we can take a look at that. And there are weaknesses that we'll need to look at. So let's look at the levels, minimum, lows, and so on that we can look at. So minimum security. All right, someone walking by, we have a lock on the door, or the door is closed, right? Keeping people out. Designed to impede someone unauthorized. That's it. Nothing simple, a barrier, door, nothing sophisticated. Just something to stop someone from breaking in. Lowest level. You have this at your house, right? You have a door. That's it. Nothing. Let's take it to the next level. Still low level. Systems designed to impede, detect, right? Maybe your Ring doorbell. Maybe we're going to reinforce the door. Have double locks, bolt lock. Lighting and a basic alarm system. These are still low level. Anyone can do it. Everyone should have it. You probably have all this stuff at your home. And that's what we're talking about. This right now, this is basic stuff that we want to look at. Medium security, designed to impede, detect, and assess. Basically, activity can range from simple shoplifting, conspiracy, ensuring the data, incorporate advanced skills, intrusion detection, perimeter, making sure that we have stuff gone, and possibly even unarmed guards with communication, so that people. A lot of this, and no matter what we're going to look at, it's about the show. What can someone see, and how do we prevent anything from going on? Again, the more levels that we have, the chances of someone getting in are less. High-level security, state-of-the-art equipment, closed circuit television, perimeter alarms, and security. Tons of lighting. Nighttime is the worst time. So we need lighting. What else? Trained armed guards, right? Before low level, they weren't trained or they weren't armed. Now they're armed guards. Restricted areas, formal plans with police, coordination with local law enforcement, annual assessments. So these are some of the different things. As you can start seeing, we're starting to get more and more sophisticated levels of what we want. Let's go back one screen for high level. Again, it's planning. How important is it that we're protected? So, a bank is going to have a lot more security than a grocery store, right? These are the things that we want to think about, putting it in our everyday lives, our home. Maximum security. Designed to impede, detect, assess, neutralize, right? That's the first time we've heard that. State-of-the-art alarm system, remote monitoring, backup power sources, on-site training. Where are they found? where you'd think they'd be: nuclear, prisons, government bases, military bases. I lived in New Jersey. We had a military base, and you couldn't get on it without going through all kinds of screening, opening your hood. They check under your car, opening all your everyone has to get out of the car. Armed guards 24/7. So it's really tight security. This isn't something that, we really have to make sure we have everything in place. Redundant backup servers, weaknesses, lights, battery operated. So these are some of the different things that we have in the high security areas. Psychological of maximum creates the appearance to make it impossible. System effectiveness eliminates opportunity and eliminates desire. That last one is what it is. At the beginning, someone walks by your car, the car's open, they're going to break in. Your car's kept in a locked garage, that's a little better security. Your car's now kept in a garage that has an armed guard. Let's face it, no one's going to walk by and steal your car. This is the same type of concept. So I want to make it as simple as possible, but this is what happens with what we need to do. We want to eliminate the desire to commit the crime. So if someone wants to get in, they are going to get in. We just saw, not that long ago, the jewels in London were stolen. They had tons of guards, but they got away, but they all got caught. Again, they had to go through a lot to get in. And that's what we want to put. The more show that we put, we don't want to hide our security. Our security should be up front so everyone sees it to deter people. Some disagree with that, believe in maintaining a low profile contributes to the overall effectiveness. They will not know what it is. Now, what I'm saying is you should have a show, but you don't have to show everything. Show the stuff that you want to put up. You don't have to show every little aspect of your security. If you have special fences and cameras, they should see some cameras so they can, chances are they would target them, but they don't have to show everything. And that's what I think is probably the most important thing, is that we don't have to show everything, but we show some to deter it, right? If you walk by a house and you want to commit a robbery and you see an ADT sign in front, you might walk by to find one that doesn't have it. Again, why? Psychological. So that's what we want to look at. What assets are being protected and how important are they? This is what we were saying before. I could protect anything, but is it worth it? Does the cost of protection outweigh the value? And that's something every company has to answer. There is no one set answer that says, hey, this is what it's going to cost. If all you have is a basic laptop computer, you really don't need much protection. Maybe a cable. And that's what we're looking at. Does it outweigh what's on here? Let's see. List prerequisites for security systems as we start looking at it. Security force, response force, coordinating with local enforcements. So what do we want to use? What are we trying to plan? Impede, detect, accesses, and neutralize. Physical barriers, locks on the fences, high security doors, manning levels, who's there to protect it, right? Equipment, training, these are some of the different things. As we start planning, doors, alarms, perimeters, outside, inside, off-site, on-site, these are some of the things that we want to look at as we put our plan together. What are we going to be doing? Develop after deciding component to make up maximum security, defines the level of threat. That's a good thing. Is it someone off the street? Is it organized crime? Is it a rogue nation state that is after us? These are the things we need to think about as we start looking at it. It could be spies, or is it just a simple criminal? What are we trying to protect, right? That's what we need to think about, and we need to enforce. What are we trying to protect, and how cost effective is it? Security director lists, emergency room, disorderly conduct, internal theft, assault, employees, Now, these are some of the things that a hospital would want to put together as we start looking at it, right? So we go up into the geriatric ward, not much protection. Infant, babies is going to have more because of threats there. How do we evaluate? What's the impossible internal threats, right? What's his name? Snowden, military a couple of years ago, probably about 10 years ago now, right? Low-level officer stole hundreds of thousands of records of the U.S. government. Internal theft, how do we prevent it? Auto theft from a parking lot. Disorderly conduct, assault, burglary and robbery, hostage, right? These are some of the things that occur, and these are what we need to figure out. Hey, this is still what's going on. How do we design this to make sure that we're in proper thing, right? Low credibility threats, less of a concern than high ones. Use develop, design, reference threats. So we have to figure out what threats are we trying to do it. Here's some basic threats that we can have. Terrorist groups, sophisticated criminals I talked about, extreme protest group, disorientation person, disgruntled employees, miscellaneous criminals. Disgruntled employees is a tough one. You don't know they're disgruntled till they do something. Same with disoriented person. They might not mean to do harm, but they do. They're really hard to predict. Terrorist threats, organized sophisticated criminals, you kind of know where they're going to attack from. So we don't know everything. Extremists, again, we don't know what they're going to do. We just saw some horrible things going on around the world. Again, you don't know what everyone is. We try to do our best. But having the assesses potential threats, right? Looking at some of these different things. Let's take a look at, let's see. Disgruntled employees, workplace violence. This is becoming more popular now. Sophisticated criminals, they've always been around. And terrorist groups, same type of thing that we must protect against. What's the likelihood of a threat, right? Time, it's not going to happen probably in the middle of the day. It's going to happen at night. Are we secure? Where's the location? Circumstances. What's going on? And we can see this happening as we look, through the world over the last couple of years. We see all this happening. Preparing for threats versus adversary. Primary threat, internal threat, or diversion. And these are some of the different things we want to look at. Determine the adversary most capable of carrying out. Internal threats. Someone could be compromised. This big thing going on with TikTok. Back years ago, the concern was that if you post something on TikTok, the Chinese government would have access to it and tend to blackmail you. That's what the whole thing about the TikTok fiasco going on. That was just bought out by, I think Oracle owns part of it. Auto theft, right? Is it someone going for a joyride, or is it going to be shipped overseas within minutes of being stolen? And these are the different kinds of threats that you have. If it's organized, sophisticated criminals, chances are they're getting your car, even if it's locked. If to walk by someone opportunist, if it's locked, that might be enough to deter them. Having a flashing red light in your car, right? These are some of the different things that we can do. We should have contingency plans on what's going on. Who's going to internal theft, crimes against property, auto and burglary, violent conduct, robbery, disorder, and you can read the rest. But these are the things that we got to plan for. How do we put it in place, and how do we prevent it? Layering protection, right? Layered protection is to meet security so that you have one layer, 2 layers. Again, the idea is to put make it difficult for anyone to get by. And one of the ways we do that is physical barriers. Physical barriers provide high security around the building. It could be a fence, it could be a Jersey barrier, enclose it within another high security, isolate the zone, fences, no driveways are blocked off, establish isolation zones, add other penetration forces, establish isolation zones outside this area. And again, none of this is new. If we look back at the early 18, 19, 1500s, castles built on all the trees around the castle were taken down, moats were put in place, drawbridges. They had the same concept, physical barrier, keep everyone out. So what we're doing is now just making it in the urban settings. How do we prevent people from getting in? What we do, physical barriers are a great way to do it. High-end security. You might have a double entry. They come in first, close the door, second one comes in. I know watching some videos on Google's data center, you got to go into an isolation chamber, one person at a time. They check your iris, and then you go in. So these are some of the different things that you can do. Walls, ceilings, floors, how are they protected? You know, data, anything that's important should not be on the first floor. Shouldn't be by an outside wall. They should be in the center, right? Again, this goes back to the castles, and they used to call that the keep, was in the center at the highest point to allow people to protect what was inside. This is no different. Locks, simple locks. Again, these aren't difficult. Decide which open, determine the lock quality, grandmaster combinations, locking systems, sound security. So again, locks are another easy way to keep everyone out. They're not complicated. Alarm systems, state of the art. Vital areas should be covered. Alarm doors, supervised alarm circuits, lighting. Again, lighting is a simple thing you can do. Inside the CCTV. Communications. Commercial telephones, right? Walkie-talkies, two-way radios. So if the phone lines are down, cameras to ensure proper surveillance, can effectively monitor the perimeter. So these are all basic things that we want to do. Response force, neutralize. What happens if something happens? Who's there? How is it? You're relying on police, or there's someone else that can help you? Security plan. We talked about it. Make sure you have this before you go forward. Description and protection, right? As building documents should be detailed. So we know, so police know what's inside, how to get around, where are the doors, what is locked. Facilities organization, facility security, physical barriers, access control, security, right? All this is what goes into when we're planning security. What do we need to do? Justification, again. Evil syndrome, hold losses to a minimum. If someone gets in, keeps costs down. Usually security is one of the first things that cut, but it is also one of the most important. Justification. Bottom line, how important is that what we're trying to protect? As we saw, the crown jewels were broken into last year, and you think they're pretty important. Was it $10 million worth of jewels? Their system was flawed. Probably an inside job because they knew that the system was flawed. But this is what we need to do, right? Convincing oneself, define it, consider pros and cons. Again, you want to think about what you're protecting, what's the value of it, how much do we want to spend, and what's the likelihood of someone wanting it. Crown jewels, everyone wants it. My $50 watch, I don't think anyone cares. So what is the value and what's the likelihood? And as an organization, we need to look at that. Invest the time and effort to make sure it's worth it. Has it been broken in before? Supporting documents. What about other companies? Do they have similar issues that you might have? May encounter security issues before. Best promote right after if you're trying to get it. If something happened, this is when you want to put your plan in place. Draw on previous experiences that was recovered. Use raw data to adopt, personalize it, cover the area of priority. Right? This is all what we're trying to get you to think about. Let's see. Definition of the problem. Basic information to communicate. What are we trying to protect? How are we going to go about it? If plan A doesn't work, do we have a plan B? Elimination of alternative accepted proposals, the solution, support the solution. Right? These are all basic concepts that we need to go over. Presenting the approach, basic information, concise, be prepared to answer questions. And again, formulating the approach. Let's see, assigning. Oh, that's it.